Okay, in this video we're going to be distressing two of these items, the birdcage and the lantern. So while I'm getting everything ready, I want to show you what we'll be using to distress. I got the brush to do that, and also acrylic black, and that is from Dollar Tree, and a little container of water. If needed, we can do that. So let's get started. Okay, I'm starting off the white cage. I'm not going to do a whole lot of distressing, but I did start off with a little puddle, a little pile of black. So I'm just going to go ahead and start dabbing. And I want to do as light as possible. I don't want to make it too obvious. The thing about distressing a birdcage is that you don't want to overdo it. Just by doing just a little bit makes a big difference. And by distressing it, gives it character. And I will show you with other cast iron and other things I have. It gives it so much other useful purposes. And I'll show you that for a second. Okay, I'm going to switch it around. See what I'm doing here. Get it with some of the edges. And you can already see the hook. And we're going to switch it around some more to get the rest of this. And down more. I think I got too much. It really was just sitting around collecting dust. And I feel like it had really no purpose until now. And I can make it look very Victorian. And do something with this. And I will show you as it dries. So I'm not going to do any more with this, but you can see how distressing it is going to obviously change the whole look and feel of this. But I didn't want to do anything radical. Okay, I'm going to set that back. This lantern is going to go through. Now, I've seen this on YouTube channels where they distress it. So, we're going to see how this goes. Let's see. I'll just wait. I'm new at this. Okay. And from what I've learned, I have to get a paper towel and wipe it down. So give me a minute here. I'm going to log off for a minute and do that. As I said earlier, I was going to give you an example of what it is to distress, or in this case, age something. And this is a 3-tiered tray and also a bowl. So just to give you an example of what that looks like. And why we're doing this with the bird cage up here. Give it that aged look. Kind of goes with what we're doing here and here. So I went ahead and started rubbing this off, and I think I should add some white to it, but I think I got the right idea. I just added a little too black to the corners. I'm going to keep going. The obvious thing is it's going to be a farmhouse look. Okay, so what I did is I went and ran and grabbed the white paint that I did have with me. I do have acrylic paint, but I only had this with me. So I went ahead and painted over the mistakes that I was making. And I'm letting it dry now, but you can see it's more distressed here. And it looks a lot better on this side. This side is okay, but again, too dark on the top. So I'm waiting for it to dry so I can go ahead and distress it. This side didn't turn out as great, but it looks a lot better than what you see. So you can see where I made the mistakes, so I have to let it dry. But in the meantime, let me show you where the birdcage is. And I didn't put the eggs in yet, but I put the birdcage up. It is still drying, so we shall see. But it's distressed slightly. I hope I didn't ruin it, but what I did is I got these sparkle eggs, and I have to go get the moss. But I'm not going to put the eggs up yet because it's not quite Easter season. But I do have it started, so that's it for distressing the cage. But this sat in my cupboard for ancient of times. So I figured I'd do something with it, and I'm going to still work on this and see what happens. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit, though, because there's still streaks here. And that's the only mistake I made, is that I didn't blend it in. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I'm not worried that it looks gray because, you know, it's the streaks that I was a little concerned about. I don't want it to be too dark. See, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Over here, let me move it. Over here is where the real thing is. I'm just going to add some white. If I can just get rid of that black and turn it into gray and get rid of those streaks. That's where the distress looks. It's looking a little bit better. The streaks are what you don't want. It looks too done up. Yeah, I think we got it. Okay, let me see if I get the other side. Y'all are good luck for me. See, that's distressed. This is not. Let's see what we can do. I just had to let it dry a little. Yeah, a lot better. So add some white. Add some white to this and fix this mistake. So it's not totally noticeable. It'll be fine once I fix it. It's a little bit better. But like I said, I have to let it dry before the white really takes effect. I might have to get my acrylic white out for this to be noticeable. But I think I'm getting there. It was pretty dark. I think we're getting there. Yeah, I think we've managed to get somewhere here. I'm not against gray, so because I know it's more of a farmhouse look. I just don't want it to look too overdone. I want it to look farmhouse. And we're getting there. So far, so good. Okay, that'll be it. We're going to let it dry and see what it looks like in a few minutes. Okay, as an update, what I did is I added the flowers and the moss. And I got the moss at Dollar Tree. And underneath, you can see that I got the floral foam, and I hid it underneath there. You're not supposed to see it. So it stayed steady in there, and completed the bird cage. And in distress. The lantern's complete after some touch-up paint. And you can see it has that farmhouse look. I also added some moss into that. You can see that we completed the project. Thank you for watching.